Hello and welcome back to a space adventure with Dave. So we made it back to the drilling rig to get some ice from the rig itself, or not ice, but hydrogen to fill up our big ol' spacecraft here. The drilling rig here may or may not have hydrogen. I want to say yes. It has some. Alright, so that's not too bad. It has 4 large hydrogen tanks and it has about 50% each. That's not terrible. Okay. And I don't believe there's anything in the cargoes itself. Hopefully not. No, nothing in the cargo, so that's not terrible. Alright. So it definitely doesn't have ice either. So what I really want to do here initially was to put some thrusters on here, drill some ice, fly into space for a space station. But since I have that defense station, wherever it is, I'll keep losing it right there, I can use that as a space station instead. Here, I'll probably keep this here to drill for ice consistently, so if I need to stop by here, I can get that. And maybe might be a good idea is to create some kind of ice cargo transport from this drilling rig up to a space station, and I probably can do that with a drone and have it follow some coordinates, and that would be a pretty cool thing to do. I haven't really worked out how to do that just yet, but that definitely sounds like something I can do. Alright, so in order to add wheels into this big boy, one of the main things I was planning to think about doing is use the piston trick I did with the ship, but that might actually fail because this thing is huge. Unless I add a lot. It might work out, but the other coin of it is that this is not a steady floor, so it's definitely going to flip over. So I was going to hopefully attach my ship onto this point and thrust her up ever so slightly and see if I can pick it up. The piston trick I did with the ship may work fine, but I just got to probably add one like here, one here, and then, you know, bring it up. But again, the station is so, not station, but the floor is so uneven that it's probably going to be one of the worst things to do. I can add some wheels on this side, but I gotta make sure it's high enough for this drill also. So if I do add a wheel, let's see if I can. I'm gonna add probably a 5x5 wheel. Probably. If I add a 5x5, whoa, this thing is huge. I haven't used this in a long time. I haven't seen such a huge wheel in a very long time, actually. So if I add it here, it's definitely not going to build. If I want to use the 3x3 wheels, I mean, this probably works a little bit better. I don't know. I had really bad experiences with the 5x5 wheels, where the 3x3 wheels worked a little bit better for some reason. And I don't know. Do I want to use this? I'm not sure yet, because if I use 3x3 wheels, I mean, it looks like it'll pick it up, right? Let me get some stuff and see. All right, so if I plug in this 3x3 wheel, right? It's high enough a little bit for this, but not necessarily enough per se, because this is the highest it's ever gonna go, and with a wheel like that, it's definitely gonna scratch the bottom of the drills, or the drill's gonna scratch the bottom of the surface. So I definitely need to add like another block down here and another one down there if I can, just to secure it. Alright, so honestly, I think if we did put my ship here and test to see if it's gonna lift it, we can try that. So let's get rid of these blocks and let's connect. We can't take out that other piece yet. We'll connect this big one, this big boy. There we go. Landing gears. I turn things on. That'll be helpful. Let's connect to the connection point, which is, I believe, on this side. We are now connected. All right. So in order to lift this station, I highly doubt the spaceship can lift this up for some reason. I really doubt it for some reason. It's gonna get me a little bit worried, but you know what? if it works, I can have a temporary time to build out the wheels. Or at least build out second support on the bottom. And maybe I can do that with a landing gear, actually. You know what? Maybe I'll plan for that. So let's extend something here. And then get my landing gear ready so I can plop that on as soon as possible. Right? So I'm going to do that. And hopefully I can lift this thing. So, ready for the test? Here we go. So everything's on auto. Yeah, everything's on fire and all pistons. I don't know what I just did there, but it's time to remove the connection. I am so scared of this. And the ship is actually holding it up. Wow. Perfect. So let's go a little higher and then put some... Oh wow, it's actually lifting up pretty nicely. I think it's because I don't have any cargoes in there. But I thought this thing was going to be heavy. Alright, so that's cool. So that's not too heavy. So what I'm going to do is add these guys here. And then, of course, add that landing gear. So at least we have that. Perfect. So now we're going to... It should be on auto lock. So I'm going to land this guy so I don't have to waste any more hydrogen whatsoever. And hopefully I can see. It's already landed. Okay, so it's already connected. So we can actually turn this off. And we're good to go. Awesome. This was the perfect plan that I thought was gonna, not actually work out, to be honest. But it worked out. And I mean, leaving that as a connection would actually be pretty cool. I could just drag it along and drop it whenever I feel like it. In order to get some more ice, right? I mean, we can do that. We just need to add some landing gears on each leg, maybe, or one at least. Then we could just drive around and then poke it down. But instead of doing that, I do want to add some wheels. This probably is the worst place to add any wheels because if I fall here, that's not going to be ideal. This whole thing is a crevice for some reason. So that's pretty bad. You know what? Maybe I should move this over to a more flatter spot. I really don't see a flatter spot, but maybe over here would be okay. Yeah, potentially over there would be a lot better than what I'm working with right now, right? Yeah, let's just give that a try. Alright, so we at 99% hydrogen. I have my drilling rig on. I believe if the drilling rig was fully filled with ice, this would be impossible. My ship would have probably just dropped. So, what I really want to do is just get to a, not flat grounds, but at least something better. A little bit flatter than that spot that had a crevice. And I'm sure with my abilities, I would have just fell in that crevice. And that would have been just terrible. There is a bit of a spot over there with something, I believe, right? Is that an ore marking? It's so hard to tell in Europa sometimes, but it doesn't look like it. No, it's just ice. I can land on top of that thing. Yeah, let's land on top of that thing. By that thing, I mean that little ore rock over there. Not sure what that's called, but don't know what kind of material that is. So I'm just gonna kind of hover around it or above it just to get some stuff out of it. Oh, it's iron. Okay, we can use iron because we spent a lot of steel plates. Alright, so I'm gonna land this. Hopefully I don't break the legs. If I break the legs, the whole thing's coming down. Alright, so I think we're attached. Yeah, we're locked. So we can turn that off. Alright, we are good. Things are working out as planned. Usually things don't. And that was close. It wasn't terrible. Alright, time to add the wheels. Now, do I want to do 5x5 wheels or 3x3? So what I am going to do is add another layer on the bottom. So it's 2 down. And then add the wheels. And this one needs 2 here. Alright, so now we're going to add the wheels across. And I think I want to use this as the front. I know the connecting point is there, but eventually it should be in the back. I'm gonna use this as the front and have it drive forward that way. So what I am gonna do is add a bit of a length here, so I can add as much wheels as I can, but not too many. Well, maybe I can put a lot. We'll see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do that. 4 each side. Can we put 4 on each side on this side as well without blocking? It's not bad. We'll see what happens, what it looks like in a second. So we'll add another one here, and we'll add more on this side as well. And of course, we'll weld these guys up, and probably not use the welding ship just yet. I'm gonna use the welding ship as soon as I can, especially when that didn't work out whatsoever. And this is a wrong count. Alright, so you know, this is what I mean. Things don't usually work out for me in this sense. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. I know what's the point of hearing me count, but it is what it is. Alright, 4 there. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 4. Okay, so we have 4 on each side, so it's actually 5. Not 5. 9 across that way, 9 across that way. So we'll weld these up and then add some wheels. Alright, so we'll add the wheel on the left side here. That's wheel 1. And I think we need about 1 or 2 spacing. So we can put one here, but it's going to be a little cramped. So I'm going to put it on this side. So we put one there. Now we have some spacing across. Alright, perfect. So we can put another one here. So it does, in fact, not allow me to put one here. So you know what? So we don't have to be too symmetrical. Although that may or may not bother me down the line. We're going to add one here. And then here. And see how that looks. So, alright, so what we can do is not make it 100% symmetrical and make the tail end just a tad longer. And that's going to be like that, I think, right? So it needs 3 spacings. Yep, that's going to be like that. So we're going to add the last wheel on this side. So then it has a bit of a train of wheels going on here, which is not terrible. We can redesign it a little bit if we need to, but that looks not terrible, at least. And we'll just add it on this side as well. But I probably can just do it super quickly. Alright, so all the wheels are here, and probably going to reinforce it a little bit with some steel plates to go around this way somehow, some kind of fashion. But first, let's weld it up. Alright, so I had to enlist the help of the little welding machine or ship just to finish this up a little bit quicker. I was able to weld up the wheels, the base of it as quickly as possible. It went pretty smoothly, it wasn't terrible. I think I need to add maybe some supporting points to this, just in case. You never know, I might hit something and might lose a lot of things. So let's see if do I have enough steel plates in here? Probably not, so I'm gonna have to hook up and get some more. So what I am thinking of doing is to put some extra points. So maybe from here, or maybe here, straight forward, so that way it can kind of hold it. And we could do it in a different way. We could do it this way. Have a bit of a double decking, I guess you can call it. So instead of having to block like one block, we're gonna do 2 blocks, but 2 half blocks in like the weirdest way ever. So we can't put like 1 block there, so we could put 2 half blocks here just for fun. I mean, it could be a little odd, but hey, it might look cool. You never know. Not really, it's just gonna look odd. So we're gonna add that here. And the good thing about it is that if one breaks, the other one may not break. Not 100%, but it gives it a little more structure integrity, I guess. Maybe. I don't know. It just might come out as this bowl. Just playing around with it to see what's going to happen. But I'm going to do that for both sides and then hook up my welder ship together and weld up the rest of these steel blocks, basically. Alright, so let's grab the welder. Ow, ow. I just zapped myself with the welder. Might be a good idea to turn them off from time to time. Right, so I'm gonna grab this little welding machine. It's not the best welding machines I've ever built. It's just functional and it needs a lot of atmospheric thrusters, especially on Europa, because the gravity well is not as good as it is on Earth. So you definitely need to tack on a little bit more just to kind of get some flight and maneuverability. So we're gonna tack this guy on, get some steel plates here, and we'll weld up the rest of that stuff. Alright, so we got our steel plates, and just for fun, if you guys want to see it, maybe not, but let's just show you how this little welder works. So I could potentially put a third one in the middle to weld things up a lot faster, but I decided not to for the sake of saving materials, which probably don't need to. But yeah, with the two, it's not terrible. We'll just put two here, and you'll see how it just welds up like 3 spaces from each other. So we could just keep sliding to the left here and continue on the left, the right, and continue on to weld up 3. Or if I go slow enough, or if I actually program the thrusters to move right or left slowly, I don't have to keep tapping on the keyboard, and it will just weld up everything on a smooth process. But I don't want to deal with that right now, so it's just easier to tap your keyboard than actually having to, or controls if you're using the Xbox, instead of having to program everything. But this is a lot quicker than do it by hand, and by hand I mean the hand welder on the person, because that I do have the level 3 welder, or tier 3 welder as I like to call it, but it's unnecessary. And I mean, it's faster, but your person just don't have the backspace for it unless you increase it in the options. But I have a limited space here, so building these things is more ideal to make things go a lot quicker, because you can carry so much depending on how much cargo you have on the little small ship. But enough of the small ship. That looks like we are done with the wheel setup. It can definitely look a little better later if I wanted to add more stuff to it, but it is time to release it from the landing gear and tack on the drilling system and get that working. But first, I'm just gonna land this guy in the GCEG beacon, and by land I really mean just crash right into it, to be honest. And let's just do that really quickly. That was just for fun. So just crash into it and just, you know, really land really hard for no reason whatsoever on there. Alright, so that's for keepsake. You can have that for now. Babysit my little vehicle, and let me get back to this thing here. Do I want to bring it up, or can it just drop also slightly and it won't break? I mean, the safer thing to do is to carry it. The funner thing to do is just to drop it. Maybe I can drop it, but I may want to actually set up some wheel properties, maybe? I don't know. Let's see, what can I do with the wheels anyways. The wheel property looks like one's still incomplete, to be for some reason. So let's figure out that situation first. Aha, right here. This one's incomplete, so let's just fix this. We just need some small steel tubes to fix that. So there, that's done. All right, so we don't necessarily need to program it, but we need to park it, I think. So let's just park it. So we go in here, and to park it is P. So now the gear's unlocked and it's dropping. So that wasn't exactly what I wanted to do, but what I really want to do is just park it so the wheels don't move. But it kind of worked out either way. So let's get this thing off, and it should slowly come down and just so gently land. Okay, that's not bad. Alright, let's remove that stuff off. Alright, so let's do this one quick thing too. Let's just move this connector. Alright, so it's looking okay. The wheels, we have what, 6 wheels on each side. It looks decent. It has some structure. The design's not there yet. I could design it a little bit further if I wanted to. Alright, so we have everything set up and ready to go. So now here's the real true test. Alright, the test to see if we can drive this thing. If it's too top heavy and whatnot. And if it is too top heavy, I can definitely take out the turrets on top here and put them more on the bottom or the side. I put up there so they don't shoot myself really, but it does do that for whatever reasons. But that was the ideal spot for it for now. So let's see. Can this thing drive? So we will put ourselves off a park. And we should probably set the wheels. But before we do that, let's see if this thing moves. Alright, so it's having a lot of trouble kind of moving forward. So that's not good. And I think it's because this thing is extremely heavy and it's leaning. So what you want to do, or what I would want to do, is edit the wheels a little bit. So what we want to definitely do is strengthen the wheels to bring it up. And height offset, we want to put as a little bit of a negative. Let's say there, just to bring it up. We're going to reduce the power because we don't want to go too fast. And probably increase some of the friction. And speed limit, we can drop a little bit for now, and we'll leave it as that. Turning, steering, they all can turn for the time being. I'll change that when I get the time to do it, because I don't want to bore you guys with trying to figure out which wheel is which wheel in that case. But there's a quick way to do that, to be honest. Alright, so as you see here, everything's in the turning radius, or all the wheels turn. And yeah, so let's go forward and see what happens. Alright, so it is moving ever so slightly, which is perfectly fine. It's kind of what I really wanted, because I didn't want it to go too fast, because honestly, it's gonna just move a little bit, drill holes, little bit holes here and there, and just be as is. So can I turn this thing? It kind of can, but again, we're also on ice, so that's why it's probably a little more slick. And that's probably why it's not turning as good as it can. So let's do this. So what we can do, and this is something I do sometimes for some vehicles as well. We're going to add some small hydrogen thrusters. Alright, so that's all welded up. So we have the 2 backwards thrusters, 2 forward thrusters here. Do we need any to the side, left and right? No, not really. Because the ship is going to turn with its spinning its own steering. So let's see if that works. Alright, so we turn off the brakes, leave the gas on. So if we go forward now, take the parking brakes off, or handbrakes, and hit forward. And it goes. So that is good. Probably not ideal because it's going a little too fast, but it works. Alright, so that's awesome. So if I go too fast for any reasons and I need to stop, I have my backward thruster to do so. And I could back up ever so slightly, and that almost looked like it was about to tip over, to be honest. So yeah, probably didn't even need to add wheels. Could have just done thrusters. But hey, it's pretty fun idea to do. Alright, so that's that. It is looking a little top heavy, so we probably want to add some more wheels in the front. Maybe I should have used the 5x5 wheels, but it's fine. I'll leave it as that. Leave it as these wheels, because we can still move. Like you see here, it's not terrible. It is a bit rocky. It's just not terrible at all. Alright, so it's not bad. With that all said and done, thank you guys so much for your support and subbing, liking, commenting, and also hitting that notification bell. We are getting close to about 1,000 subscribers. We're 200 or so off, so we would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button. So as always, thank you. You guys are the best. We'll see you next time. Bye.